A lot of senators are coming out against Donald Trump now. They finally feel like he's a liability. But Lindsey Graham is not sure, so he's still holding on to his own. Check this out, and then we'll take it on the other side.
Here are those Republican lawmakers yesterday directly blaming former President Donald Trump for their party's poor performance in the midterms. Take a look.
President Trump lost again, and I know a lot of people in our party love the president, former president, but he's, if you will, the kiss of death for somebody who wants to win a general election.
I think his obsession with the 2020 election became an albatross and a real liability for people who are running, especially in swing states.
I think he's less relevant all the time. Even if you capture all of the Trump voters, you may be able to win a primary, but you're not necessarily going to win a general election.
Those candidates most closely associated with former President Trump underperformed. That is objective. And those who had a little bit more distance tended to do a little bit better.
Is former President Trump's endorsement the kiss of death, as another Republican senator said today?
One thing Democrats have done a good job. They got their mail-in. They did a better job with early votes, mail-in and early voting. I think people vote based on what they think is important to them. They don't vote because one of us tells them they should vote that way.
Well, I don't think this was any referendum on President Trump. I think this is a referendum on us learning the cycle of how to run an election. We as Republicans have to learn about getting people out to vote. Cat's out of the bag with early voting.
Donald Trump's presence was so significant here. Republicans are ready to embrace him in 2024 as your standard bearer.
I don't quite see it that way. The Trump factor helps some and it hurts some, depending where you're at. Biden's not overly popular, but they won because I think their financing system is so much better than ours.
So, Joe, what does Trump have on Lindsey Graham? I mean, or what else could it be?
No power. It's nothing. No. I mean, everybody's like, oh, what's he have on Lindsey? What's he have on these people? Nothing. They're shameless. They're afraid to go to the voters. They're afraid to listen. I've known Lindsey since '94, when it was cool for Lindsey to be part of our group to run Newt Gingrich out of town. He was first in line. He was the revolutionary's revolutionary. Mm-hmm. And then when suddenly that was not in vogue, suddenly he became John McCain's son. Mm-hmm. And, a political son. And we were like, what? How do you go from like running coups with us to being like John McCain's son, who Senator McCain, God bless him, I loved him, but he had very little use for us, right?
Right.
And then how do you go? But John McCain was running for president, so Lindsey ran to the power. And then when Donald Trump ran for president, Lindsey ran to the power. I mean, I was blessed enough to have quite a few meetings with Senator McCain, and at the end he was just shaking his head. He's like,
right.
Lindsey just loves the spotlight. He loves golfing with the president too much, and just sort of shook his head like, poor Lindsey, we've lost him.
Poor Lindsey, we've lost him. But yeah, finally, we're starting to get senators, and some that we would not have expected, like the low information senator from Alabama and Mississippi. And I mean, it's amazing that these guys actually came out against Brother Trump, So I think we're making some progress, but we ought to remember this. While Donald Trump is no longer going to be leading the party in the long run, Donald Trump just represented who the party, or a large percentage of the party, has become. So don't fool yourself to think that MAGA has anything to do with Donald Trump. If you remember, I did a video a few months ago where I pointed out that this woman came on and she said, you know what, folks? MAGA has nothing to do with Trump. Trump picked up MAGA. Trump didn't give us MAGA. We gave Trump MAGA. Remember that. we spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.